Welcome to the Money Minute, the smartest finance show in the business. I'm Rich. And I'm Rob. I'm not in a great mood today. I dumped shares in some transocean shipping companies and I took a bit of a beating. I thought these sectors would have climbed, but things aren't looking good with the Delta variant scaring people. While supply lines haven't recovered yet either, and the pissing contest we're still having with China is rippling the markets. I'm surprised you dumped them since you usually go absurdly long. I'll get back in after they drop more. Let's take a call to get my mind off the beating I took today. Cranberry in New Jersey, how can we help you?
Thank you for taking my call. This is exciting being on your show. I'm actually so nervous asking you a question on live television.
That's very sweet, but I have to ask, what kind of name is Cranberry? I never heard of such a thing for a person.
It's my nickname and what everyone calls me. My family, going back 3 generations, owns a cranberry farm in South Jersey.
Is it true that New Jersey is the largest producer of cranberries in the United States?
A lot of people think that, but we're actually the third largest producer behind Wisconsin and Massachusetts.
Well, I love your nickname, like Rob here. I also love Ocean Spray cranberry juice. We've got a fridge full of it at home.
We sell to them.
So what is your question, Cranberry?
I recently won an Apple MacBook at a fundraiser and I like it a lot. I've always had a PC, but now I see why people love Macs. You've always said to pay attention to things people in my own household are buying as well as things I personally like. And then this has me thinking about buying some Apple stock. It's trading around $150, but I missed the recent climb from $120, which creates a dilemma for me. Do you think Apple is a buy?
Absolutely a buy for the long term. They have the 3 C's: cash, creativity, and culture. Culture means that they have a cultural presence around the globe, and that's a huge advantage. Their management makes good decisions about products and marketing. The share price may drop back a bit with some profit taking, but I think it's a good medium to long-term play, especially if it dips back to the 130s. Then I would certainly buy. I agree with Rob, Cranberry. I have nothing else to add. I just wanted to say your name because I might never get the chance again. I also like this word dilemma you used. Have you ever heard of the Monty Hall Dilemma? I've heard of it, but I'm not familiar with it. Well, you went to the London School of Economics, so let's see how smart you are. Let's say Cranberry goes on a game show hosted by a guy named Monty Hall. There are 3 small tables with a box on each one. Under one of those boxes is a MacBook Pro. The other 2 are empty. Cranberry doesn't know which one the prize is under. Monty knows because he's the host. You with me so far? Of course. There's 1 prize and 3 boxes. Cranberry has a 1/3 chance of picking the right box. Cranberry picks a table with the box on it, and Monty rolls the table in front of her. Monty then lifts one of the 2 boxes in front of him, and there's nothing under it. So now there is 1 box in front of Cranberry and 1 in front of Monty. Monty then gives her the option of switching from her box to his. Is it to her advantage to make the switch? Anyone who studied basic probability knows the answer. Well, what is it? There's no advantage. There are 2 boxes with 1 prize, so there's a 50-50 chance of it being under either box, which doesn't give her an advantage to switch. Is that your answer? Yes, not a very difficult one. I'm now renaming this the Monty Python Dilemma in your honor, since you're from over there anyway. And after selling your ocean stocks at a loss, your day just got worse. The correct answer is yes, it is an advantage to switch. No, it's not. You must be mad. It's logic, math, and psychology, my friend. No wonder you lost money on those stocks earlier today. They're probably up after hours now. Let me explain this problem. In the beginning of the problem, there are 3 boxes. Cranberry picks 1. So far, there's a 1/3 chance of her having the laptop under her box. If Monty had randomly lifted an empty box and given her the option of switching, you would be right that there would be no advantage. But it wasn't random. Monty knew which of his 2 boxes was empty. And 100% of the time, he shows the contestant an empty box. It's the lack of randomness that retains the original 2/3 probability that he has the prize under his box. At the start of the problem, he has the prize under one of his boxes 2/3 of the time, and he always has at least one empty box. By showing Cranberry an empty box based on his knowledge, 2 out of 3 times he's still got the prize on his side, so she should switch. That still doesn't make sense. That's why your day just got worse. Logic isn't necessarily your strength. I'm good with math. Contrary to the mathematicians who think the answer to everything is mathematical formulas and equations, math is a subset of logic, not the other way around. So if you're not good with logic, your math will suffer. When you use an equals sign, for example, that's a function of logic. Don't feel too bad. Lots of people get that question wrong, this dilemma, including many with their PhDs in math. Marilyn Vos-Savant started this whole controversy years ago when she wrote an article in her column, and then she wrote about it in her book, The Power of Logical Thinking. Speaking of which, what's on your library card these days? I got sucked into this one by Noah Ben-Artzi Pelesov, In the Name of Sorrow and Hope, a title apropos of everything. With the recent problems in the Middle East between Israel and the Palestinians, I purchased this from Amazon. I'm even wearing my Jerusalem hat in its honor. It came out in 1996 after Noah's grandfather, Yitzhak Rabin, was assassinated by a member of his own political party. It's quite a touching account by a lovely lady. I teared up once or twice, which I wasn't expecting. What have you been reading lately? This one over here by Brian Keating, Losing the Nobel Prize. While reading The Man Who Solved the Market, the book about Jim Simons, the quant who is now worth something like $25 billion, I saw he funded a project to try and discover the origin of the universe, the moment it was created, if possible, by searching for background microwave radiation. Brian Keating was the recipient of major funding from Jim Simons, and he almost won the Nobel Prize. I won't ruin it for you, but the title says it all. To sum it up, polarity can be a biatch, my friend. What Vindaloo is on the agenda this evening? We're trying out a Martinelli Zin from their Jackass vineyard. I like their Pinot, so I figured we'd give their Zin a shot. Comes in around a C note. With your day, a wine from Jackass makes sense. Well, that does it for this episode of the Money Minute. Remember, there's a stock somewhere that's going to crush it, and we're here to help make sure it doesn't crush you. Have a wonderful day.